Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's happened. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video, and it has happened. Plarium have woken up. I get asked the same question at least 100 times every time I stream. I stream 5 nights a week. Come and join me for that. This is like when Aladdin has got his genie. This is like when Captain America is wielding his shield. It is like when Jean Grey becomes the Phoenix and has got some powers. It's like when Del Boy is wearing a sheepskin coat. It is like when Harry Potter is around Hermione and she does all the work for him. It's like when He-Man has got the power of Grayskull. It's like when a Jedi's got a lightsaber. It's like when Barcelona are playing with Messi. It's like when Maui's got his hook. It's like when Superman is not near Kryptonite. We have got ourselves a double summoning chance. Double summoning from your ancients to get yourself new legendary heroes, new epic heroes. It's coming tomorrow. Literally everybody wants this to happen without fail. So what have I got? I've got 98 odd shards here. I'm going to be pulling shards on stream probably all weekend because that's all people are messaging me about right now. It's an exciting time, guys. What I'm going to do in this video, though, is do a 10-second review on all the legendary champs. All the legendary champs, I'm just going to flick through them, 10 seconds, good, bad, ugly, and just give you my view because people are going to be pulling legendaries like crazy over this weekend. So, let's get into this. Whistle Stop Tour, let's start with Bannerlords. Lord Champfoot, buffed recently, still pretty bad, I think. Some people tell me he's better. For me, he's still in the bottom 25% of legendaries. He does have an AoE decrease attack. Moving on, Tathalia, actually a really good champion. Great in the spider, has got an AoE kind of cleanse and remove buffs. It's got a heal. Actually, really worthwhile putting some investment into Tathalia. Hillian the Lucky, one of the fusions from fairly recent. Great faction war champion, need I say any more? He's actually pretty good. Got block cooldown skills on his abilities and some stuns, but mid-tier legendary. Black Knight, buffed recently again. Still mid-tier legendary. I see him in some comps for Clan Boss. He's kind of like a niche champion. Doesn't offer enough for me to be legendary status. Minaya, one of the largest multipliers in the game for attack, but she's actually a support champion. Kind of weird. She does have a nice heal on her. She does partner really well with her namesake Coronar. But if she's not with Coronar, I'd say she's kind of mid-tier. Luden, mid-tier healer. If you put him in crazy gear, he can heal like a trooper, but he does need insane gear for that to happen. He's in my Faction Wars team. He's a steady Eddie sort of champ. Does have an ally protect, so can be useful in Clan Boss, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown if booked, which is worse than most epics. Septimus, one of the hardest hitting champions in the whole game. I really want him. He's actually a very cool champ. Can one-shot a spider with the right setup. Brilliant in Clan Boss. Brilliant in most dungeon content. Great for Faction Wars. Really fun champ. Rishtoth the Bold, recently buffed. Hoping that he's going to get some content that enables him to do some work. Gets poisons all over the place. For me, still pretty weak in the current meta, current content. Maybe he'll be good if a new Clan Boss comes out, which has got multiple heads. Raglin, Void, so we're not going to be able to pull her from this event, but great support champion. One of the best. Great base stats. It's got a revive ally, which you can get down to a 2-turn cooldown with full turn meter, kind of bonkers. Remove all buffs. Brilliant arena champion. Brilliant support for anywhere in the game. Baron, for me, one of the worst Void legendaries in the game, but we can't pull him on this event. Let's move on to the next faction. Whew, this is tough. Right, next one. Eleanarl. I do have her. She is kind of like Xavier, but not as good. She's got a combust on her poisons, but she thinks that things like decreased attack and decreased defense are actually poison, so she wastes it. You can do some silly numbers with her, but for me, she is mid-tier. Shiramani, really good support player. Great for Faction Wars. She's got an AoE freeze, which is good for the arena as well. Quite an annoying champion to play against. Good champion to have on your side. A freeze on a 5-turn cooldown. Good heal on her A2. And a single target, free hit at random freeze on her A1. Good base stats. Worth investing in. Roanus. So a lot of people keep calling this guy out to me as one of the hardest hitting champions in the game. I don't have him. I've used him for this stun, which he does effectively. It's pretty rare to have an AoE stun in the game. So a lot of people are saying that this A2 can hit really, really hard. Can basically take out any champion in the game, no problem. Love to know below if you've got him and you think the same. Lysandra, one of the best speed champions in the game. She's got speed and turn meter manipulation coming out of everywhere. 110 speed as a base. All battle speed aura. Speed buff and turn meter buff on her A3. Fully depleted turn meter on her A2. Great champion. Raw Huntsman, niche champion. Good for faction wars to drop defense, but it only drops defense on... no, it's all enemies. Yeah, places drop defense, sorry. Will take out someone on his A3 one shot, no problem. Terrible base defense, makes him quite hard to keep alive, but quite a fun champ. Yannicka, people keep telling me again she's got an A2 that can one shot anybody. I don't see a lot of play from Yannicka. She does have an AoE here. I think she's kind of mid-tier at best. Ethos won't be coming in this pool, but one of the best legendaries in the game for nukes, one of the best campaign farmers in the game, one of the best arena champs in the game, and probably the best champion in the whole game for dungeon keeps. Belenar, again, Void won't be coming in this event. I haven't had much use of this guy. People keep telling me he's underrated. Does do a lot of damage on his A3, I believe. Does do a drop defense and weaken on his A2 like a Razin would. So, fairly useful champ. And then Arbiter, we probably all know about Arbiter. She is really solid as a champion. One of the best champions in the whole game. I think that's it for this faction. Let's move on to Sacred Order. Roshkar the Tower, don't have him. He's basically known for being Mr. Unkillable. He's in a lot of unkillable teams. Really solid champion. Puts blocked damage on your team, so great for the arena as well. Actually great for any content in the game if you can make this work. Fairly bad base stats. Not terrible, not great. Attack base, so he's not going to hit that hard. But he can punch this up quite high. Yeah, pretty good champ. Errol, very situational. Hard to enable because his defense is one of the lowest in the game. But can hit really hard. Can easily one-shot anybody in the arena if you can set him up right. Abyss, basically a poor man's Zargala. So she needs a bit of a buff. She does have an AoE decreased defense, which is the best debuff in the whole game. But it doesn't land on everyone. It only lands if booked 75% of the time. Massive hit on her A3 as well. Good champion for doing damage, but probably surpassed by quite a lot of champions in the game. Marta, we all know Marta, one of the best legendaries in the whole game. Brings counter attack, brings drop attack and provoke, brings decreased defense. If you pull her, one of the best in the whole game. Cupidus, I've got a Cupidus. I don't have him built. People keep telling me he hits really, really hard on his A3 and his A2, and he's got a passive that pairs with Venus. Quite an interesting champ. AoE on his A1, good for campaign farm, good for spider, and people are telling me good for the arena as well, so I'm probably going to build mine out. Sonic, we all know Sonic, one of the best in the game for providing massive shields, unkillable buffs. Fallen out of the meta a bit now because of people like Rotus just hitting through these unkillables. Still very solid, probably one of the best for spider, one of the best for just general account progression. Venus, single-handedly the best debuffs in the whole game. Every good debuff you want on one champion. She's a bit squishy on the defense, but great speed, great utility champ. Okay, let's move on then. Barbarians. Ultan, my favourite champion in the whole game that I own. Slams people with his A1 and does drop defense. Hits so damn hard. A2 puts defense up. If you're outside of clan boss and he starts killing people, he throws shields out. He can revive people. Really, really fun champ, and he is hard as nails. Great champion. Tilla the Drakes, we probably all just got her, or all due together from the login rewards. Actually pretty solid. AoE stun, very similar to Fushan here. If you book her out, it's about, 35% chance twice to stun everybody. Pretty good. Got a revive on her A3. Ally protection comes onto them as well. Got a passive that heals people at the start of each turn. Very solid champion, actually. Very solid for a freebie. Elder Scarred, don't have this guy. Got a lot of buffs. He's good in the arena. He's got some multi-hitters here that can deal with someone like a Rotus. Tons of debuffs that come out of him, but everything is single target. Oh, sorry, no, this places a fear debuff on all enemies. Places a true fear on one turn for people under block damage. Okay, so He's pretty situational. He's good against a bunch of legendaries, I guess, because you get less damage. But for me, mid-tier at best. Valkyrie, one of the best champions in the whole game. Single-handedly the best champion for Clan Boss without fail. Will completely change the numbers you can do on Clan Boss. No problem at all. Turvold won't be coming in this event, but insanely hard-hitting champion. I'd love to pull a Turvold just to see what sort of numbers I can do. I've done over 300k hits on Clan Boss with this guy using other people's accounts. So definitely one to look out for. Really fun for the arena. Really fun for Clan Boss. That is it for the Barbarians. Let's move on then. Algren Tribes. We've got Biggen. Biggen I'd love to get. One of the hardest hitting AoE champs in the game. Brings a stun as well. Brings a decreased speed. Really fun for the arena. Great campaign farmer. Great in all dungeons. War Mother, the meme of the legendary world. May as well face her this way around and pretend this is War Mother. Pretty bad. Decreased attack on her A1 is her only saving grace. She does have some sort of synergy with bombs, but so difficult to make it work. I never see her in play at all. Ignatius, one of the hardest hitting defense champions in the whole game. One of the best campaign farmers for Nightmare in the whole game. Brings an unresistible AoE HP burn. Makes him great for Spider. Makes him great for the arena. Brings a provoke on his A2 as well. And a potential stun on his A1. Brilliant, brilliant champion. Mossbeard, we just got him in a fusion. The only place I ever see him is Spider. Pretty terrible champion, in my opinion. Shamrock, still a meme. He did get buffed. He does now have some utility. Plenty of buffs on his A2. Compare him very nicely with a Seer. Decreased speed on his A3 as well. He's actually got quite good base stats. I'm surprised we don't see him more. Maybe I need to get working on mine and see if I can do something with him. Gerda can't come from this event, but brilliant arena champion. AoE freeze, 100% chance to land, plus a follow-up extra attack, plus a chance to freeze if anyone hits him. Really fun champ. Quite bad base speed. Wish we could do with a bit more base speed here. Build him up with tons of accuracy, and he will do work. That is the Algren Tribes. Right, let's move on. Lizardmen. Draco, single-handedly one of the best champions in the whole game. Can use him anywhere in the game. Hardest hitting A1 that I've seen. Can do over 1 million damage with an A1. Does a 4-hit poison. And has got AoE, decreased defense, and weaken, which are two of the strongest debuffs in the whole game. Brilliant champion. Fushan, very underrated. Really fun champ. Can have a multi-hit on his A1. Can hit everybody twice. Bit like the Seal of the Drakes. Stun chance on this. Brilliant for dungeon progression. Brilliant for Fire Knights specifically. Very good as well to help you with Spider. Does have a drop defense chance. I wish this wasn't at random. It would make him tons better. But very, very useful champion. Can put this down to 3 turns. Razin, so everyone's favourite fusion. He's actually an insanely good champion. Got brilliant multipliers. I can get this guy hitting as hard as my Draco in Clan Boss. Can hit him, literally hit for millions and millions of damage in Clan Boss. Brilliant arena champion as well. Great champion to invest in. Skull Lord, basically the meme of the fusions. Goes along with that Mossbeard. Terrible champ. Is useful in Faction Wars. But that's about it. Chris can't come from this event. I really want one. One of the best arena defense champs in the game. Also one of the best Clan Boss champions in the whole game. He's got provokes. He's got ally protections. He's got decreased speed. He's got decreased attack, decreased defense. Pretty much anything you can want in the game. Defensively, he does it. Okay, let's move on to the... Where am I up to? Skinwalkers. Skinwalkers, Norog, underrated champion. Hits really hard. Can hit as hard as Ultan. He doesn't really bring good debuffs. That's why he's underrated. Although block buffs works very nicely in the arena if you can get him to go early. I've got this guy hitting for multi-millions on Clan Boss. He's part of a team that I use which one key Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. He's got an immunity to stun, freeze, and sleep, which works really well in the current arena meta. So don't sleep on this guy. Very good champ. Longbeard, brilliant champion. Part of a blender style comp. Make sure allies attack with him. 4-turn cooldown. And he increases their damage by 20%. If you get this guy, really great in an arena setup or great in the Clan Boss setup as well. Also brings a weaken on his A2. Okay, moving on. Smash Lord. I didn't have a lot of respect for this guy, but actually insanely good for dungeon progression. Great in Spider. He got remove all debuffs from all allies and then throws out a block debuffs. Brilliant for Spider. Brilliant for Dragon as well, for the Dragon part of the fight. Can do a lot of damage AoE on his A3 as well. Really good champ, actually. War Chief, good in the arena. He's got Provoke. He's got Provoke on A1 and A2. And then he's got Reflect damage. Brilliant anti-Rotus killer here. Good affinity for it as well. This is a Rotus killer. Once he gets his Provokes out there, pretty much you win the fight. Brachus, one of the hardest hitting multi-hitters in the game. Really good for the arena. Great for Fire Knights. Interestingly good for Clan Boss as well because of his self-heals, but I've not really used him for that myself. Great videos from Murder Inc. on this guy. Very fun champ, but very low base defense, so he is a bit squishy. Coronar, can't pull him in this event, but pairs very well with Manaya. Defensive base champion, really. Not got a lot of damage, but it's very annoying to fight against. Lots of provokes, lots of turn meter manipulation. Kind of interesting champ. Okay, moving on. Let's go into Orcs. Orcs, only a few here. Growhack. I don't really see him used at all in the game. I think he's basically trash. Tila, kind of similar to Growhack. She does have a leech. It's on a 5-turn cooldown. Can't really use it. For me, needs a buff. Robar, too low on his base speed, but he's a fun champion if you get him going. He has got a stun on his A1, which is a 50% chance to land. Pretty good. If he lands it, he gets another turn. I've got a video out where I've done 21 hits in a row with this guy. I was absolutely wetting myself with laughter. Really fun champ, but just needs a buff on his base stats. Warlord, can't pull him here. One of the best legendaries in the game. For the arena, for Clan Boss, pretty much anywhere in the game, he is going to be solid for you. He's got a block out everyone's abilities on his A3. Brilliant champion. And then to cap it all off, he's also got increased duration of debuffs on his A1. Angar, I really want this guy. Can't get him in this event. Basically, he rules the arena if he gets a turn. AoE provoke. Every time he gets hit, he's got a chance of putting a provoke on them again. Brilliant champ. Okay, moving on. Moving on, guys. Demon Spawn, 5 to go. Kaimar, everyone's just had a chance to pull Kaimar on a ×10. A lot of people have got him. He's a great champion. He enables things in dungeons that no one else can. He's brilliant for the arena. He's kind of brilliant everywhere in the game except Clan Boss. Tyrant, brilliant everywhere in the game as well. AoE HP burn. Is it AoE HP burn? I think it is. Yeah, AoE HP burn. So brilliant for Spider. One of the best for Spider, actually. Ally protection, increased defense, and then a decent hit on his A1. He also heals if that person is under HP burn. He is one of the best Clan Boss champions. Decreases damage inflicted by enemies by 10% if they've got an HP burn on them. So everyone in your team takes less damage if he puts his burn out there. Great Clan Boss champion. Drexar, another great champion for Clan Boss. Actually, Demon Spawn have got brilliant legendaries. HP burn on his A1, attacks 3 times, attacks all enemies and provokes, and then also a chance to put an HP burn on a passive. So he provokes spiderlings, passive brings them into him, and then he burns them. Brilliant spiderling tank. Great for Clan Boss, great for Spider. Probably pretty much anywhere in a dungeon scenario would be good. Can Drafon, one of the memes of the legendary world, still needs a buff. Looks kind of funky. Looks like he's something out of Pirates of the Caribbean. Terrible base stats. Just nothing about this guy I like. Mortu, I've got him. He has got a crazy hitting ability called Peril. It'll one-shot anyone, but you have to activate it, which is hard to do. You only get like a 20% chance to do it every time he has a move. You can stack him up with HP and try and keep him alive, but in the current meta, doesn't do a lot. Needs a buff. Lord Shazar, the best arena speed lead in the whole game. Also, very fun to throw tons of bombs out on tanks and let them explode because it ignores defense. Probably one of the most underutilized champions in the game, but very fun. Duchess Lilitu, one of the people that I want the most out of this event, basically has got a passive that reduces damage that you take. She also puts out a veil, which reduces damage that you take. Puts block debuffs out as her first buff, which means that Tormund can't freeze your whole team. Brilliant champion, one of the best arena champs in the game. Brilliant for clan boss as well, and anywhere in the game if you want to progress. Kutraxa, not part of this event, one of the hardest hitting champs in the game. 4-hit A1, can deal with Rotus no problem, and then can get an extra turn from her A2. Great champion. She also gets a revive on death. She's fallen out with this current meta because Rotus just deals with her so easy. But if she goes first, she can sit Rotus down. Anifri Blood Twin, again, not part of this event, but brilliant champ, great arena champion. He's got a passive where anyone he kills can't be revived. Good for the current meta. Well worth your time. Let's move on to the Undead. Tons of legendaries in the Undead. Let's move on. Crypt King Garl, one of the worst in the Undead faction. He's got a decreased attack on his A1, so if you don't have that move for Clan Boss, he's useful to do it with. Does have good base stats. Does have an HP burn on his A2. And he's got this kind of weird thing on his A3. Attacks all enemies. Will freeze targets if they're under HP burn. It's very difficult to set up. Very difficult to set up. But it can't be resisted. So you pair him with someone with an HP burn to go before him. He can then freeze all those targets and make sure that no spiderling, for example, is going to come and hit you. So for that, utility can be pretty good. Next one, Rotus the Lost Groom, one of the most busted legendaries in the whole game. You must have seen him. He just kills whole teams on his own in the arena. Stupid champ. Can also play anywhere in the game. Arena, clan boss, dungeons. Literally one of the best for everything in the whole game. Skartorsis, underutilized champion. Does have a speed lead for dungeons. AoE hits on his A1. Remove debuffs on his A3. Pretty good arena champ. Pretty good dungeon utility champ. Bad L, play anywhere in the whole game. Brilliant legendary. He's kind of fallen out of the meta a bit recently. He's still solid anywhere. Can play clan boss, arena. Brilliant for dungeons. Great, especially for dragons. Makes you do more damage through his passive. So as long as there's poisons out, he'll make you do 20% more damage. He heals all day long. AoE poisons. Great champ. Bloodgorged. Kind of, again, a bit out of the meta right now. Probably because of this ponch that he's wearing. But kind of cool champion. I wish they'd give him a little bit more love. He does have now an AoE. Put one of each target skills on cooldown, which is better than it was. Does have a block revive and ignore defense on his A3. 6-turn cooldown, though. Compare this to Rotus, you know. He just lacks so much. This same ability for Rotus is on like a 2-turn cooldown. So it shows how crazy the difference is. Mashold, become one of the best legendaries in the whole game since his recent buff. Definitely worth your time to invest in. I use him in so much content now. Used to be a Vault Lord. Now he is a Lord. Nephril, great champion for the arena. Great champion for clan boss and spiders. AoE stun. AoE drop turn meter. Which drops 75% of the enemy's turn meter. Brilliant ability this for the arena. And poisons on his A1. Don't sleep on this guy. Very, very cool champion. Suzerain, I don't really have a lot to say about this guy. He's got an attack all enemies. Places decreased defense and weaken. Places decreased defense for 2 turns if weaken is not placed. So some legendaries basically do the same thing, but they do it better. He does have a decreased speed. Maybe he's underrated. I don't know. I don't see him a lot in the game. Maybe I've just not really used him. But for me, I have not seen anyone invest in this guy. Harvest Jack, brilliant when there is a different type of meta in the arena. Got AoE, True Fear, AoE block buffs, decrease attack, Fear on his A1, a passive to decrease the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn when attacked. He's actually got very, very good kit, but in the current meta, with speed being king, he suffers a bit by just getting 1 shot. So he doesn't do a ton of damage. He's more like a utility champ. Great for faction wars, great for holding up people in stuff like dungeons. Sifi, totally busted. Right, let's move on to Dark Elves. Dark Elves, Ray, brilliant champion, one of the hardest hitting AoE champs in the game. Can AoE freeze and remove all buffs at the same time on Array 3. Crazy, crazy champion for the arena. Crazy champion for pretty much anywhere in the game except Clan Boss. Lanarkis, I was sleeping on my Lanarkis a bit. Fantastic champion. Great for Clan Boss. Great for the arena. great for dungeons. Really fun champ, great base speed, basically all around this ally attack that she does, but she also brings increased crit and increased attack. Very fun champ, really worth investing in. Foley used to be a Vault Lord, now one of the meta arena champions. I've got a guide out on this guy, you should check it out. He is one of my favourite champions in the whole game. Decreased turn meter and kill enemies on his A3. Can literally wipe out a whole team with this A3 ability. Also throws a leech out there, so it can be useful in clan boss. And got decreased defense on his A1. Tons of utility in this champ. And his base stats are actually pretty good. Xavier, I'd love myself a Xavier. She can throw out poisons and combust them. Put her with someone else that throws out poisons like a Tomb Lord, and she'll be doing crazy damage for you. Really fun champ. Vizier, just a game changer for clan boss. If you got yourself a Vizier, you can just extend debuffs all day long with his A1. Doesn't even need his other abilities. Once you've got him hitting with his A1 on clan boss, none of your debuffs will ever drop off, which means that you can completely change the whole setup of your team. Moving on then, Astrolith. Astrolith needs a buff in my opinion. Just not really much about a kit that I like. She's got some niche stuff that you could do if you timed it perfectly, but for me, too much of a hindrance to really use. Needs a buff. Queen Eva, one of the best campaign farmers in the game, but that's about it now. She really fell off when they moved dungeons from level 15 to 20. Her damage doesn't scale enough to deal with her base low defense. So for me, she's just a campaign farmer. Ghostborn. Can't resist his decreased defense because of his good looks. Also throws an increased attack at the same time. Great champion because of that. It's a shame about his affinity, because it means he's not useful in kind of too much content, but still, I guess Spirit did need someone that could do that. Got a heal reduction as well on his A3. Very good for Fire Knights, actually, and generally good for stuff like Faction Wars. Blind Seer, can't pull her in this event. Needs a bit of a buff, in my opinion. I only use her in Faction Wars. She's got good base stats. Her kit sounds like it should be good, but her shields are weak. Her A1 is random, and her A3 is very situational. So for me, not strong enough. Let's move on to the next ones. 2 more to go. Night Revenants. By Stoffus, I think he's terrible. Murder Inc. thinks he's great. Check Murder Inc.'s video out. If he was wearing crazy gear and he gets a go, he can hit really hard. But he's very difficult to make him get a go. 800 defense is not enough for anybody in this game to stay alive. Tomb Lord, underrated legendary, but has been surpassed by people like Stag Knight. Pretty much does what Stag Knight does, but on a higher turn cooldown. Still a very good champion, though. Got decrease everybody's turn meter on his A3 if you get them below half health. Decrease attack and defense. You don't ever want to sniff at that. It's actually a great ability. Poisons are on his A2 as well. He's actually a good champion. He needs a slight buff. He probably needs this cooldown, bringing down 1 turn. Probably needs this poison to land for 2 turns. Then he's top tier. Solus, can't get him from this event. Great arena champion in a kind of tank meta. Not so good right now. Needs a bit of a buff, really, in my opinion. But he does have provokes. Does have stuns. Just a kind of mid-tier void legendary for me. Hegemon, again, can't get him in this event. One of the most sought-after arena champions in the current meta. He wins big time in the speed meta. Blocks out the enemy's abilities. Always goes first. Great champion. Whirlum, most of us have got him. He's just lackluster. Needs a buff. Was part of the battle pass. Was pretty weak. Looks very cool. His abilities sound kind of cool, but in reality, he's just a bit weak. Okay, last one then. Dwarves. 2 of the dwarves I want the most from this event. Trunda. Trunda is the hardest hitting AoE champion in the whole of the arena comp right now. If you build her just to do damage and forget accuracy. If you put accuracy on her, then she can stun and do HP burn, which is also effective, really effective on Spider. She's got another big hit on her A2 and a stun chance on her A1, which hits hard. She's got a passive, which increases her resistance for every stun that she puts out there. So she can actually stack resistance very high. It's kind of a bit of a weird passive, but I guess, whatever. This champion's speed increases for each enemy currently under an HP burn. Great for Spider, up to 15 stacks. So you can get yourself another 75 speed from getting HP burn out there, which is pretty cool. I guess it never gets that high, maybe about 50, but good base stats, great champion. Mountain King, one of the hardest hitting champions in the whole game, also very easy to keep alive, but in the current meta, he's fallen out a bit. He's got brilliant abilities though. He can crack people for easily over 150k with the right gear. I really want one just to play around with him still. In the new type of arena mode where there's free fights, maybe he starts to come back. Morley, underrated, AoE provoke. I guess in the current meta, she falls out a bit, but good base speed, great base defense. You can get to go second in your team, provoke all of the enemies for 2 turns, and then just watch as your damage dealers have a fun picnic while they take people down one at a time. Great champion. She can also revive, which makes her a good arena sort of support champ. She's got turn meter gain on her passive as well. Great for spiders, great for dungeon progression, and brilliant in the arena. And then lastly, Torm in the Cold. Still a bit busted. We can't get him from this event, but great champion for the arena. Probably the only place that I really care about him. He's quite good for faction wars as well. Woo! That went on for longer than I thought it was going to. That is all of the legendaries in like a 15-second roundup for each one. Good luck in the 2 times event that's going on right now over this weekend, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you all soon.